Hello and welcome to another daily market reading. My name is Jay, we're on Bitcoin, I'm on the 8-hour time frame, and today we have got a lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, Bitcoin got slapped across the face and it is currently dropping a 4%, which on Bitcoin is quite a lot. Right, on yesterday's video, just a really quick recap on what we were saying yesterday. This is on the 4-hour time frame. We around this point here, I think maybe if I go on a 2-hour time frame, we can see it better. Around this point here, this is when I was making my video yesterday, and I was saying, right, we could stop on the previous high, although, and I traced this rectangle here, saying there is a chance that we go up to this rectangle because it's previous resistances. Okay, as you can see there, and also we had some liquidity for us to grab there. What I would be happy with is the price going up, grabbing it quickly, and then going straight back down. If we spend too much time here, that's a different story. But the price did just that. We went up, we grabbed this liquidity that I was talking about. If you don't believe me, if you want to know what I was talking about, go and watch yesterday's video and you will see I don't want to go in a loop and say the same things all over again. So just go watch it. Okay, so now we're getting this move down, which is fine, and we have just gone on the bottom side of this channel. Okay, so we identified that Bitcoin was in this channel. This is the top side, this is the bottom side. This bottom side was a previous resistance, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. We broke it, tested it, and then turned into a support. It looks like now it is currently being a support. Now, what do we need to look at? What do we need to pay attention on with Bitcoin? We need to pay attention at one thing. Are we going to go back inside this channel? Okay, and I'm going to tell you in just a second exactly why. In theory, if we look just at Bitcoin, we should get quite an aggressive move back inside this channel, and maybe this coming weekend we could just be up down and waste some more time. Maybe, yes. That's one of these scenarios, going back in this channel as if nothing happened. This support still stands, this rectangle still good, and we just carry on going up. Fine, perfect. Okay, this would mean that this channel is still validated. Now, the second scenario is that we don't do that and that we actually start rejecting here. If we lose this channel, okay, let me show you what my 8-hour sort of target is. My 8-hour target is the golden pocket of this whole impulsive phase down, which is 77,800 roughly. That's where my target is. Why is that also my target? Because it is also a daily fair value gap. I don't want to spend too much time saying this. This is for anyone that is new and that has not seen my previous video. This is a daily fair value gap. It's also the 0.618 level on this whole impulsive phase up. And if I go on the liquidations heat map on the 2-week time frame, we can see it is also going to be where quite a major point of liquidations are. Like I said, that's 78,000. Has that moved? Roughly, yeah, okay, we're really close. Okay, yes, yesterday's video, it was a little bit lower, okay? But still, that's roughly nearly 300 million. That's quite a lot of money for us to go collect. On the 2-week time frame, this is where the most relevant chunk of money is, okay? That's why I do think there's a chance that we are going to go visit this area. This is my next target once we lose the area that I was just talking about. Okay, nope. Now, why did we react exactly where we reacted? This is where I'm going to turn on our indicators, which, by the way, you can get for free. I've just turned on our order blocks indicator, which is going to tell me, and it's going to show me, not tell me, where we have some order blocks. On the 4-hour time frame, I don't know if you can see this green rectangle that you can see here. I'm going to highlight it in case you are blind. We've got it here. This is an order block. Okay, the price did not, I really want to make sure you know, I go in detail with this because this is where a lot of the fun stuff is. We did not hit the order block on this push down before. We did not. And now we've actually collided against the order block. How do you react to an order block? On an order block, this is how you react, okay? We've created one here. You can see we tested, had an aggressive move up. We created one here. We went down, we tested, had an aggressive move up, okay? That's how you react to an order block. An order block is a high reaction zone. It's not a shitty 2% move. It's quite a big percentage move, especially when it's a 4-hour order block. Maybe a 5-minute order block is not gonna give you that much of a bigger move. A 4-hour one is going to give you that move. So, having said that, we've touched the order block now. In theory, just looking at Bitcoin and that's it, we should, okay, get this move up. We should get an aggressive move up because we've collided against an order block where on the bottom side of this channel, we should at least, you know, get a bit of a pump up in theory, okay? That's for Bitcoin, so that's what I'm thinking. Also, just a really quick mention, if you're using our indicators, which you can, by the way, get for free, you've also got the smart oscillator, which gave you a really nice divergence, basically on the bottom, exactly on the peak, and it looks like it is now starting to play out. Okay. Having said that, I'm gonna have a really quick look at not Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm gonna leave it for last because I've got some really interesting stuff when it comes to Ethereum. On USDT, I just want to really quickly mention, I'm going to turn on all of our indicators now, make it a bit easier. We have got a daily fair value gap around this area. Okay, on USDT, it looks like we were doing, well, it looks like we have been doing quite a nice downtrend. Low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Well, this high was actually to go test the previous one, and we're now getting this move down. Okay, so looking at this, doing an analysis on USDT, and just really quickly, if you don't know what you're looking at, what this measures, what this tells you, when USDT goes up, the price of crypto goes down, okay, and vice versa. So, looking at this, in theory, if I trace a Fibonacci retracement from the previous high, which is this one, and then I trace it all the way down, we can see that the golden pocket, which is the 0.618 level, or the 0.5 level, is sitting very, very, very closely to the strong daily gap, which means that in theory, if we just look at this, if we look at USDT, we should get a nasty move down. We should have a bit of room for us to go up in USDT and down in crypto. Looking at the oscillator, very similar reading. Looks like we still got we have margin, we have room for us to go up. Okay, so it would make sense for us to get a bit more of a push down. Are we going to get a push down during the weekend? Maybe. Okay, maybe we are going to. That's what happened last weekend. We weren't really slow and stable. We were actually moving. Now, the one that's really important, the one that I'm paying really close attention to, is going to be Ethereum. Now, if you have been following my videos for a bit, and even if you're new, let me give you a quick recap because you're missing out. This was a channel, these two boxes were the top side and the bottom side of this channel that has been in place, that has been used for about 31 days, okay? Now, this was an extremely good proxy for Bitcoin. Why? Because when Bitcoin went and tested the previous highs, Ethereum was just telling us it's just going to the top side of this channel. When Bitcoin came crashing down, Ethereum also came crashing down, but we knew we were just going to the bottom side of this channel and to an order block, which meant that we were meant to get a move up, which we did. Okay, so it's been a really useful proxy for Bitcoin. It's been really, really useful. Now, what has happened? One really quick word of mention for you also is on sideways channel. So when you're trading sideways, not up, not down, but sideways, exponential moving averages and fair value gaps are not really useful. They're two things that are not too useful. Now, if we look and do actually some analysis, we can see on Ethereum, maybe it's going to be easier to see on a 2-hour time frame. Yeah, okay. On the 2-hour time frame, we've been making highs, lows. We've broken the exponential moving average. Fine, cool, that's all right. We've been going back up. We've been making a lower high, but we have respected the exponential moving average in this downtrend. We have also respected this fair value gap, which is a 2-hour gap, as well as a 4-hour gap. I'm going to show you. If I'm not wrong, this is also a 4-hour gap. There we go. We've respected the 4-hour gap and we've gotten a move down. We've done a lower low, we've gone back up, okay? We haven't really respected the cleanest way on the 2-hour time frame, but the 4-hour time frame, we have respected the exponential moving average very nicely. I'm going to delete all of these drawings so that you can really appreciate, because I really want to make sure that you can see what I'm seeing, because in my point of view, this is quite important. We've gone up, hit this fair value gap, moved down, which is exactly where the exponential moving average was. Did the exact same thing, didn't manage to go above the recent high. We stayed below it, and we are now currently, I don't care if we get a move back up. I do not care, because we are now starting to confirm, if we have finished going down, a lower low. We have also lost this flipping channel. I'm also just seeing now, okay, I don't know if you can appreciate, we've got a 4-hour strong fair value gap. I don't know if you can see it there. It's really small. It's literally there. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. And where's the exponential moving average coming along? It's coming along very close behind it. So if the price of Ethereum goes up, okay, we could be testing this previous support, which is the bottom side of this channel. Once we test it, I would be fine with it having a reaction on the 4-hour gap. If, okay, this is really important for you watching, keep a very close eye on what I am saying. Let's see if Ethereum gets a reaction on this fair value gap. If we do, that's it. That is a very big confirmation that Ethereum, which we have been using as a proxy for this past month, is now telling us, look, I'm breaking this channel, I'm not going back inside it, and I'm starting a downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's one thing that Ethereum is giving us a lot of information. I'm really pleased with the way that that Ethereum is giving us this information. It's been really good, and now I really want to see if we can carry on using it. So like I said, pay attention. Let me give you an actual price level so it's easier instead of you trying to guess it. 2,273, roughly around that price area is where we are going to have the 4-hour exponential moving average and a 4-hour gap, and exactly where we have the previous support. And also, if we do stop there, we would make in a lower high, sorry, and yeah, we would just be confirming a 4-hour downtrend. Okay, keep a very close eye on that. If Ethereum keeps on going down, I strongly believe Bitcoin is also going to be going down, and we're finally going to start having that move down that we have been talking about on this channel for quite a while. Having said that, I thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to leave any questions or on the comments box. That's what I am here for. I am here to answer your questions and help wherever I can. Make sure also to leave a like, subscribe, and then make sure to watch tomorrow's video, or actually no, tomorrow Saturday. Make sure to watch Sunday's video to see what the price has been doing and what we can think the price is doing the following week. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one.